put you in my sights.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I am one of your hosts on this very special 11/11 night. Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the two best co-hosts a man could ever want. We got first, the draw, Jackie Rodriguez. What is up?
What is up indeed? We have been hinting and alluding to this very special day for it seems like a month now, and 11/11 is finally here, baby. I can't freaking wait to get this show kicked off.
Also, we have the producer hoot, the king of talk style, the man who will soon be in Disney, but first he is stopping at Full Gear, not to go, to watch. Let's not get crazy. He doesn't have all the money in the world. Anthony DeStefano, what is up?
What's up, guys? As I told the crew before we got on, let's fucking go. We've been waiting to do this show for a month. We have huge plans to grow this brand, to make it everything we want it to be. And we want to welcome you to almost a new Elite POV. There's a lot of things that are going to change here tonight. Content-wise, there's going to be more content. We have, Jackie's gonna, Top Girl Talk. She's told you about it. You're gonna find out when and where you can find it, right? You're gonna find out what else we can do, and what other surprises we have, including a new logo, like I told you last week. So, I'm very excited for tonight. I'm very excited for Saturday night, and then I'm going to Disney so I can FaceTime Phil and we can sing "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
Yes, we did that last time you went there. Do you remember that?
Yep,
No,
I
it was
do.
we finished each other's sandwiches.
Sandwiches, yep.
Yeah. Good times. Aunt's wife loves that. We have that special connection.
Yeah, she's very weary of us.
But
as she should be.
Yeah, well, we did sleep in the same bed. For anybody who got to hear Ant's best man speech that he gave at my wedding, which was really awesome. So with this being the biggest show in the history of this show, I'm gonna go to Jackie first because we are launching a brand new Patreon, patreon.com/elite POV. Now, for anybody who supported us when we used to do Rant with Ant, when I did Who Got Next, when we did any of the other shows that we did before, Patreon was a great way for us to connect with our community, to give you guys extra content without kind of messing up the feed and clogging the feed. Nobody wants that, right? You just want the regular show on the feed. We're going to give you a lot of great stuff. So, Jackie, let everybody know what they're going to get by signing up to our Patreon.
So we have been working really hard to really bring a cohesive unit for our content. We're really excited about the stuff we've got going on Patreon. So if you're enjoying the Elite POV experience at this level, come join us and support us. We have a different tier system. And of course, the higher the tier, the more the perks, but we try to incentivize people by bringing you the best content. So our tier system is as follows. We have our elite tier, which is $1 a month, which is basically just your way of supporting and, showing us some love on the most basic of level. And it just generates support for our show here. Our $5 tier is our super elite tier, and this is where the fun starts happening. So you may have seen my logo thrown out there for Top Girl Talk. That is going to be one of the shows that will be available to you at the $5 tier.
And can you say it's going to be available tonight at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the first episode?
The first episode is going live. That is hosted by yours truly and Miss Jamie Strange. We're really excited about the content we're bringing you there with. We're going to be elevating women's voices, but it is an all-inclusive show, and we'll be touching on wrestling as well as other real-life topics. So you're going to get a 5% merch discount in this tier. Top Girl Talk is not the only show. We will also be doing an AEW fans origin story. It's going to be we're going to throw a lot of really cool video content in this tier. Because it is affordable. We want you guys to be able to get in on this and support. So our $10 a month tier is our super click tier. So everything that I just mentioned will be available in this tier, plus a 10% merch discount code. We're going to do a Friday fan shout out. So if you are in this tier, we will be shouting you out weekly on our Twitter and socials. We're going to have access to special group events. We want to start getting a little more inclusive and bringing you in on the experiences. So then we have, when you see us do our giveaways pretty frequently, and in the $10 tier, you will be eligible for an additional entry just for being in our super click. And so there are going to be extra shows in this tier, including the Elite POV game night, which we are really, really excited about. This is going to be a way for us to introduce you to more of our fun personalities outside of the general wrestling content. And finally, our top tier is our best in the world tier, which is $20 a month, which again has access to everything you just heard, plus an additional, I think it's supposed to be a 15% merch discount. We'll have to double check that because it says 10% currently. But regardless, so and something interesting we want to do on this tier is to bring anybody that's in on this tier as a guest on future shows. We would like to get you guys in on the show, interview you live, and just really increase the experience between our fans and us. So that is just a general overview. Of course, if you visit the Patreon site, we have the layout completely detailed for you guys, and we hope that you will join us in supporting us. It already means so much to us that you are here tuning into the chat every week, but we want to take this to the next level of bringing you premium content from Elite POV.
Yeah, and I mean, that is going to be the ground floor of how you can support us. Obviously, Phil, computer just froze, so I'll take over the reins. Welcome to Rant with Ann, everybody. I'm your host, Anthony DeStefano. So with that being said, this is a great way to build a community. Anybody in here, oh my God.
All right, am I good now?
Yeah.
All right, good. Whatever. Yeah.
Anyone who just got in here, so this is the way we did like bar talk, right? We used to hang out at the bars. We used to all be at McMahon's. We used to be partying. We used to be doing a bunch of crazy shit. And that is what this is going to entail. If you're a Patreon, you'll be invited to these events to have the special kind of like the special kind of community that we built with Rant with Ant. That's what we're looking to do here with the Patreon. So the Patreon will also feature some game nights. The Patreon will also feature some live hangouts in the Squared Circle Discord. So please, if you're not in the Square Circle Discord, get in there. We'll be doing plenty of shows there, plenty of fun things. And the Patreon is going to have something very, very special for you E-Federation fans, with me doing an AEW version of an E-Fed. So stay tuned to that as well, because we're going to bring you all the amazing content. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is a new logo. So I think it's time to unveil our new logo. So anybody who knows our identity as a wrestling podcast, our community, that mask represents so much to us. That mask is my identity. That mask is my purpose. It's my passion. It's the fire inside. And it was a big part of Rant with Ant. And as much as we said we didn't want this show to be Rant with Ant, it's not. But we want the community to be like that community. We want to bring wrestling fans together. We want to have a good time like Rant with Ant. And there's one way you recognize Phil and I, and that's by that mask. So that mask has always represented community to us. And what better way to build the Elite POV empire than going back to something that is so important to us? And I'll kick it to Phil so he can give his thoughts on the mask being back.
So the reason why I really wanted the mask to be a part of our logo, because if you think of any great company, right, whether it's a podcast, anything, right, soda, food, whatever the hell, right, there's always a simplified version of the logo. When you see it, you understand what it means, and you don't have to see the name, right? Off the top of my head, because of the movie that's coming out this month, you think of Ghostbusters, right? You see the ghost logo, you automatically think Ghostbusters. You don't need to see the word Ghostbusters. That mask has been a part of us for so. That mask was a part of Rant with Ant before I was even a part of it. Like it has more.
Actually, that mask was introduced as Phil became a part of it. That was our first, like the day we announced Phil is the day that mask dropped.
But it's all an evolution, right? It evolved from where Ant started to where we are now, and we wanted to keep something from the past, and then we want to evolve into the future, right? Because this is all just an evolution of everything that Ant started, that I joined. Now we brought Jackie in, so we have Jamie, we have Infinity, we have a lot of things going on, and the mask means a lot to me. I mean, you see me with the Rant hat on as I'm talking right now, so that's past means a lot to me. But Ant, all these great announcements, right?
Yes.
What if I told you I had one more thing for you guys?
The meaning of number 11. In numerology, the number 11 represents the spiritual messenger.
Other than being a number that's associated with dreams, 1111 is the only time of the day, using the 12-hour clock, that all 4 digits on the clock are the same.
You made a wish at 1111.
Announcement, the big secret.
Look who's here.
Been keeping. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, he's here. He doesn't work here.
I now own Elite POV. What's up, everyone?
Just like the CM Punk secret, the worst kept secret.
Worst kept secret.
Shout out to everybody who was able to guess it.
Yes.
Yes,
Four star figured out like day one. 4-star figured it out.
But we're very excited to welcome Kyle Masters into our beautiful family that we have over here at Elite POV, and we're all hyped. This has been an announcement a long time in the making, but I'm gonna go to you, Kyle. Say hi to the people.
I just want to say that I've never produced a show behind the scenes before, so I was nervous as shit sitting here behind the keyboard for that first how many minutes we've been live for the last 20 minutes.
And you blew it when Phil froze. I was like, you popped in his spot. I'm like, oh fuck, no.
I had a message ready to go saying, oh shit, sorry, I tried to call you guys. No, I've joined Elite POV, ladies and gentlemen. The code has been broken. It is official. I am now part of the team. This is going to be what you're going to see every Thursday night here, because it's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's Elite POV time. Let's get this going, and let's fucking go!
Let's go.
Yes.
If you guys want, I know this is a topic a lot of people want to hear. Our first Patreon show that's dropping tonight at 8:30 Eastern time is an exclusive interview I did with Kyle about joining our team, talking about closing up AEP, We had a really good talk because we both had to do it. He did it with AEP, I did it with Rant with Ant, and how this brand almost represents the rebirth of us as content creators.
Yeah, it was a really good interview me and Ant did. Almost like what you guys hear when you hear like a Jericho podcast with like a former WWE guy coming over. Kind of along the same lines. Didn't touch too much base on, too much of the story, but you guys get a gist of the story, and we kind of go over why I made the decision, how long this decision has been going on for, and it's a really good interview, guys. I really do highly suggest you check this out because after we hit stop recording, me and I just sat there going like, holy crap, like that was really good.
Yeah.
That was very good. So I highly suggest you guys check that out. And
that's
subscribe
free
to the Patreon, to this Patreon, Elite POV. I can say this now. I can tweet
That is
this
our
now.
gift to you guys. Patreon.com/Elite POV. Get used to it because you're going to hear it so much from us.
Yep.
It is our way to connect with you guys. So for the first month, our gift is giving you this great interview with Kyle. And I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. I myself have not heard it yet because it is being published tonight. So I will, just like you guys, get to hear it for the first time tonight, even though I pretty much know the whole story. But that's besides the point. I still want to hear the interview. But Jackie, let me hear your feelings about all this. Because we heard Ant, we heard me, we heard Kyle. I want to know what you're thinking.
Okay, so trying to keep this a secret has been challenging, but let me tell you the amount of work that we put into, facilitating this transition has just been some of the most rewarding time. I absolutely love every single person on this team. We have really come together as a unit. We spend a ton of time together. We're always hanging, at the end of the day, we're friends before everything else. So having Kyle here,
we're family.
Yeah, we're family.
Fast and Furious kind of
Fast
thing
and Furious, who out here.
It's been a long day.
But I could not be happier to have the Canadian Prince himself, Mr. Kyle Masters, on our team with us. So I feel like we're solid and we're complete now, and let's fucking go.
Exactly. We are the pinnacle.
We are now the pinnacle of podcasting.
Pinnacle of podcasting. We have the Canadian Prince with us. That makes us officially the pinnacle of podcasting.
His shirt will be up as soon as I figure out the merch password again.
Oh my god!
And as soon as we figure out why Teespring hates us sometimes, but it's okay.
Oh, it's up. Everything's up except now I just can't get on.
Listen, if there's one secret I could give to you guys, everybody who's listening right now, everybody who's live on the Twitch chat, thank you guys for joining us. Twitch.tv/Elite POV. If you're listening to this later on YouTube or anywhere podcasts are found, we are terrible with passwords here. Yep. Shout out to the person who could break into our accounts because we can't even get into our accounts and we have the passwords written down. But shout out to everybody who's been dropping subs. I've been seeing them going on. Yes. Right? Shout out to Jermaine, who subbed for 6 months. I saw that earlier.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, man. Jermaine has been supporting me and everything we did since Who Got Next Rant with Ant days. I'm happy you're still here with us. Shout out to everybody who dropped the subs that I missed and all this crazy announcements. But
yeah,
we're not done with the announcements either. Just let you know, wait till the end of the show.
For anybody who was here live, you need to stay for the entire show. At some point, we're going to announce the giveaway winner and everything that we have going on. Actually, Jackie, let them know what the giveaway is.
So tonight we are giving away one $25 Shop AEW card, and the only catch is you have to be here in the live chat in order to be eligible. So on that note, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing love in the chat. The chat has been popping off. I'm seeing a lot of warmth and affection in our direction. So I thank you for that, and we will be rewarding one lucky viewer with that Shop AEW gift card.
So you got to stay tuned for the entire episode because at some point randomly, I'm going to throw to Jackie and we're going to announce that giveaway winner. But you got to stay for the entire time because you don't know. I might do it right now. I might do it later. Who knows? But let's get to this great episode as the first time with all four of us here. The amazing episode that was AEW Dynamite last night. Now, Kyle, as a new guy, all right, as a new guy here, I want to know your thoughts on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite.
So, I always go into the go home shows to see how they do at hyping the pay-per-view. That's the big thing you got to do. Every go home show, it's your job to sell that pay-per-view for the upcoming Saturday or Sunday that it is. I think they did a really good job at doing that with a lot of the main matches. They talked about the 4 main matches that are going to be on that card heavily on this episode of Dynamite, which was the main event, obviously, the title match. Daniel Bryan versus Miro is another highlighted match. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston, and the women's world title match, Britt Baker and Tay Conti. Even on Unrestricted today, they had really, really high praise for Britt and Ty with Tony Khan today with Excalibur.
Hey, can I say something about this week's Unrestricted? I love that Tony Khan does it.
Yeah.
Never have Excalibur on it ever again. I can't. Never.
He seemed weird.
It seemed weird, and he didn't let Aubrey talk. It's her show. It's her and Tony Schiavone's show. Obviously, something happened. Tony couldn't be on the show, or Tony Schiavone couldn't be on the show. But Excalibur was half in Excalibur on TV mode, and half he sounded like he just woke up. It was such a weird dynamic, but
he sounded like he was on commentary.
He did. Yeah. He was commentating.
He was promoting stuff
the
like he was on commentary. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You're not on
He's
commentary.
Great words, Tony. And I totally agree. But let me tell you why I think CM Punk's going to win this match. And you're like,
on Saturday, on pay-per-view, Full Gear, order on Fight TV and Bleacher Report. And I'm like, okay, you're on a podcast. What are we doing?
Yeah. 100% that's how he sounded. But Tony Khan did say some incredible words about Britt Baker and Ty Conti, which for anybody who's been on social media today, everybody seems to be sharing the words that Tony Khan said about Ty Conti, which made my heart very happy.
No, she said I love you, so that made your heart very happy to you. So
I'm not. I'll be the first to admit I'm jealous. Janny #1 over here.
Listen, I tried to tell you she was my girl, bro. You didn't want to.
I got to move on. Maybe.
Yeah, you gotta transition on to something else.
Maybe I do got to start looking at Abaddon. I don't know.
Tough times, bro. Tough times.
She's gonna eat my
But yeah,
soul.
it was a great episode of Dynamite last night. Was there a moment for you, Kyle, that stood out? Because to me, it was one of the best episodes of Dynamite, which is crazy. We're 2 years into this company, and they're still dropping episodes almost weekly that can challenge for the best episode ever of Dynamite.
I think it's the main event. This was the first time a Dynamite has ended with a main event. So I was extremely curious as to how they were going to do this, and I think they nailed it. I think it's really tough to do a good contract segment, like the contract signing segments. I've never really been a fan of them, but I had high hopes because I'm like, okay, this is AEW. This isn't WWE. They're going to actually try to pull this off correctly, and I think they nailed it. They nailed it. I never would have thought the cameraman would have been freaking Don Callis. I was looking for Don Callis.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to come out of the stage. Never would I thought the cameraman inside the ring was Don Callis.
What's funny? I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and Brittany is, for anybody who's new to the show, who jumped in, right? It's my wife. So I'm sitting there watching with my wife, and I'm like, why is the cameraman in the ring like that? Why is there 2 cameramen? And it's stupid me not thinking, oh, it's wrestling. It's clearly going to be somebody. But I was just like, why is there a cameraman filming them? It's so stupid. And then when Don Callis was revealed, I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, how did
That's for the new Thursday night show, AEW Inception, coming to you soon.
Yeah. And shout out to Carrie, because it's one of those. It's one of those moments where it made me laugh. She was the first person I thought of, because Carrie absolutely loves Hangman
and loves Don Callis.
Also, absolutely loves Don Callis. So it was funny that Don Callis was the reason that Hangman is sitting there all bloody, which led to something that I want to talk about more directly. Is how fucking badass was it that Kenny Omega signed his part of the contract with Hangman's blood? So Jackie, I'll go to you. You love Hangman just as much as any one of us, and you took those amazing pictures when you were at the Philly show. So how was it seeing our boy Hangman just gushing blood over there?
Yeah, that was a really messed up way to end the show. It's Kenny signing the contract in blood. But can we just talk about the back and forth dialogue between Kenny and Hangman, and it seemed like it was just every shot that they were taking at each other was hitting lower and lower below the belt, and that Kota Ibushi reference that we got.
But isn't that what makes AEW so great? For the people who got it, we popped, and for the people who didn't get it, it was still a cool line. And then that's what AEW does, great, that we say on on the show every week. If you know the history of the storylines, if you watch BTE, if you watch Countdown, if you watch people's vlogs, whatever, you get paid off in the end. Like it benefits you to watch as much content as possible, and they don't make you try to forget things, right? Everything is canon, and AEW exists in the real world, which is awesome. But yeah, Ann, what'd you think?
That whole segment was great. I want Hangman to win really bad. I just the story of Hangman, and I feel like they've given you a little bit, but I feel like that ending scene of him signing the contract in blood makes it a blood feud. But the thing I'm most excited for before the match is how AEW makes a video package of the last 2 years of this relationship between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. It's a beautiful story that culminates finally this weekend. Will Hangman finally be the face of AEW? 2 years ago, if you asked me if Hangman Page was ready to be the face of AEW, I say no.
I also said no.
You ask me today, no. I say that is the guy you're putting the title on. So it is going to be insanity, but the whole card is going to be insanity. And like you said, Phil, talking about this Dynamite card, it was funny. We're in the chat last night, and I said, this is a really weak card for a go-home show. And I didn't mean it as a shot, but I'm thinking, you don't have Punk wrestling, you don't have... And that ended up being like my favorite Dynamite of the year.
Well, also for people to piggyback on what you're saying, for people who don't understand what it might mean. So AEW has a history of the go-home shows being the people who didn't get on the pay-per-view, right? They have a huge roster, a ton of people. So usually you get the storylines and the feuds that just time-wise didn't fit on the 4-hour pay-per-view, which Tony Khan said in a media call today that they're sticking to that format. So, for example, like a Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage feud, that doesn't make it to the pay-per-view, but that's on the Dynamite before or after the pay-per-view. This one seemed like a bunch of random matches thrown together, especially something like Danielson versus Rocky Romero or Dax versus Pac, like stuff like that's like, cool, but like that doesn't really build towards a pay-per-view, which of course it's AEW. We have to stop thinking like that, right? Everything builds towards everything because Tony Khan is a genius, him and his little black notebook. And it all makes sense.
He spoiled the whole Full Gear card, and we're still excited for
it. Yeah, but then he changed it though, because a lot of it, there's stuff that's different.
Well, it said Mox versus Danielson. It said Hangman versus.
It said Thunder Rosa versus Jade.
But it said Punk versus Wardlow. So
it was stuff he was thinking about.
I'm so happy that Punk's fighting Eddie, and I wish that we saw a little bit more of that parking lot. Like I wanted to see more action in the parking lot. I want to see them throw each other into cars and shit.
They should do that.
But we got to see Eddie Kingston running though.
Yo, my man sprinted.
They should do that at the beginning of the pay-per-view. Have them attack each other while coming into the building. Before the match even starts.
Open. So do you think we're gonna do Full Gear predictions after Dynamite? So I'll save what I was gonna say for that. But now we're gonna keep this segment short because I definitely want to go all in, pun intended, in the next segment with the Full Gear predictions. But there's one match that I want to get one person in particular's opinion on, and that is one of the best matches of the year, one of the best Dynamite matches that has ever happened, and that is, of course, what's he call himself? Grumpy Uncle Dax.
Uncle Dax, man.
Versus Pac in a very hard-hitting match.
Murder.
Dax get his chest cut open by a chop, which is, Jesus Christ, Pac, how hard are you hitting this man?
How sharp are your fingernails?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Also that too. But Jackie, what'd you think of this segment?
Oh man, people need to stop sleeping on my man Dax, all right? Because when it comes to all of the singles matches that he's had, and I think this is probably the third one that he's had on AEW Dynamite, they're always freaking fire. Now, you take a guy like Pac, who's consistently bringing these like epic matches, so you know from his end it's going to be good. I think that Dax and Pac are two of the most intense people on that roster. It's like when they go in, I think I tweeted about this earlier, when they go into that ring, it's like the only goal for them is to destroy each other. There were a few spots, like I think there was an avalanche brain buster that scared the freaking shit out of me. It really freaking scared me.
The gasp you hit when we were watching.
And okay, so funny quick side note. We're always watching together, but we're always out of sync with each other. And usually my feed is a little bit more ahead of Kyle's in particular. So if something crazy happens and it pops me, I have to like hold it in.
She goes,
and,
ooh,
like,
and I'm like,
the
oh,
other,
I'm not there yet.
He's like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there
The
yet.
story of
So
my
I'm like,
bedroom life.
but that, but that was one of those moments. You hit that avalanche brain buster, and I was like, I
in the
audibly
bedroom, I'm
gasped.
usually really early.
But nonetheless, the match was fire, just
That
like I
move did
knew it
scare
was
the
gonna
shit out of
be.
me. I don't know how
Uh,
you guys feel, but whenever there's a move in wrestling where the impact happens and the wrestlers stay still for a second, I'm like, oh my god, something went wrong.
I'm like, oh my god, he's dead.
They're like taking a breath, like, can I feel my fingers? Can I feel my toes? Okay, I'm good. Like, and the way Dax hit, like, not until the replay, like you
Yeah.
saw he kind of turned into it, but like
Yeah.
that first shot, you were like, he broke his fucking neck. Like, holy shit. Like, it went way wrong. But then, I mean, they're professionals. They were able to protect each other. But like, geez, that was one hell of a bump.
That was the beautiful thing is like Jackie said, like you think of the FTR as the greatest tag team of all time, and you forget how good individually they are. Like Dax went out there, and that's a guy that I'm like, holy shit, like he could win the TNT championship tomorrow, and I'd be like, yeah, that guy can fucking go. Like as a singles
Yes.
competitor. And it's so crazy to see someone that's so good at tag team wrestling be so good at singles because it's just a whole different pacing and mindset. But you got to give your hats off to Pac in this too.
Yeah.
This year has been, in my opinion, the best run of Pac's career from Neville to Pac. Everything he's done is can't miss. Like he's been 100% the whole year. It's been fucking amazing. His feud with Andrade last night.
His feud with the airlines.
His
His
feud with Travel. But like with him, he was one of these guys, and this is spoiler. My next reign on wrestling is how far we've come in 2 years of AEW, right? He was one of the guys that was brought in and presented as, hey, this is a top of the card guy. And I finally can buy into it because the quality of matches he is having this year, he feels like a top of the card guy.
He's been so up and down. Like there was the time where he had that Iron Man match with Kenny, and that was literally, to me, it's still one of the top 3 matches in AEW's history.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Yet he has that, and then he doesn't do much after that. You know what I mean? Like it kind of just got derailed after that, and he never had that constant momentum that he's had, especially this year. So I'm glad we're actually seeing something out of him that's on a consistent basis, and I hope it leads eventually to something because he is an exceptional piece of talent that clearly can work with anybody. So
That's an interesting tag team too. They just put together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. A match that got announced last night was Pac and Cody Rhodes versus Malachi
That match is
Black
gonna-
and Andrade.
That's a dark horse.
And it's just gonna
That's match of the
it's
night.
gonna be them kicking the shit out of each other. Did they announce the pre-show match yet? The
Yeah.
buy-in?
It's Thunder Rosa. It's a women's tag match. It's Rosa and
Sheeta
Sheeta against Nyla Rose and somebody else.
and Jamie Hayter.
That's it.
Oh,
There you go.
yes.
Oh, so they're second round matchups.
Yeah.
Basically, is what it is. That's gonna be a banger. These are the things we get. Like that's just such a thrown together match, and it's gonna be a banger. This
And
is
it
an absolute
promotes
banger.
the TBS tournament that they're still doing.
Very
so.
true. And also, while we're in the conversation of the women's wrestling over in AEW, I love that trios match that we got this week
Yeah, it's
with
fun.
Ty Conti, Anna Jay, and Thunder Rosa in matching gear, which was awesome. Versus Britt Rebel, don't call her Reba or whatever version of whatever that is, and Jamie Hayter. And it listen,
Yo,
it's
Thunder
cool to see
Rosa's cross body block on Hayter on the outside.
Oh my God.
was fucking insanity.
It was insane, and it looked like Jamie Hayter wasn't ready for it because it looked like she took all the impact at once before she was able to brace herself. But I mean,
But she's always
All
so like
reports that
that.
she's
That's the
okay.
Oh, she's
that's the
come
one
along.
thing.
She's come.
That's the
along
one
so
thing
well.
that people overlook her selling ability. And like people are like, oh, you oversell. Like Dolph Ziggler made a career out of overselling. Like it's
Shawn
okay if you
Michaels.
do it right. You know what I mean? So I think Jamie Hayter took that like Thunder Rosa weighed 500 pounds. Like Hayter could have caught her if she wanted, but no, she just took it full force, and that was dope.
I
Exactly.
think I froze again.
You did, but
You
we
did.
can hear you.
I just
All right,
love.
good.
I like looking at your your frozen face
Yeah.
though.
Oh yeah, cool. But listen,
Phil
and,
was shocked by the new logo, guys. If you're watching this live, he cannot take his eyes
Look at
off
it.
the
He's just
beautiful
staring at
new
that thing.
logo.
yeah. Yeah, or I might also be staring at the Ty Conti picture to my right, which would
Oh,
be your
yes.
left if you're watching it.
That is a
Probably.
more believable story.
Yes, more believable.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome to see the pop that Ty Conti got when she came out, the pop that she got in the match, and how strong they're making her look leading up to this Britt Baker match that's coming up, which is going to be really awesome. But enough talking about Dynamite, right? Well, we're going to get into every episode of Dynamite, but with this being Kyle's first episode, and it being a big weekend for AEW and a big weekend for us and a big weekend for everybody, let's get right into our full gear predictions.
Kick it into full gear.
Let's kick
can
it
I give
into full
honorable
gear.
mention to that great tag team match last night? I just want to say, fucking Leo Rush and Dante
right.
Martin might be my favorite tag team.
That was insane.
I
Killer
just want
match.
to throw that in there. But now we can go in.
There
All
I
right,
am
so
twice.
we're going in. Let's go while I reset my camera.
You're good.
For anybody who's watching live. So let's get right into the predictions. I'm going to start with you, Jackie.
Oh.
Inner Circle versus American Top Team. Listen, all right. We can all agree. We're tired of this Inner Circle shit, all right? Love the guys in it.
That's great.
Tired of the Inner Circle shit, right?
Oh
I
my
might be the only person on earth that likes the American Top Team stuff, but it's also time for that to end. So, Jackie, how do you want to see this go, and how do you think it's going to go, more importantly?
I think it's really ironic that you start with me on this one because you know that I have been complaining about this storyline since it started. The only thing I can say is I really hope that the Inner Circle goes over. Not because I have anything against Ethan Page or Scorpio Sky. I can't stand the rest of America's Top Team, but that's a different story. I just want this to be over and done with. I'm tired of it. Free my boys Santana and Ortiz from the Inner Circle. Let Sammy have a proper TNT title run on his own. Jericho, Hager, take a break. I don't know. Whatever you got to do. This is the one match on the card that I'm just like pretty indifferent about. So.
Oh, yeah, well,
We could be-
hold up. Let's become famous before we continue on with predictions. If we go to bigfollows.com right now, we can buy
first
followers and
sponsor.
viewers. Hold the phone. Screw the predictions.
Welcome.
Let's go to bigfollows.com
Wow.
right now.
Look, we haven't had that. We bring Kyle on and we get sponsored already.
Kyle's
Fan
bring
hammer just got thrown.
famous hoot. We got famous hoot in the chat
Famous
now,
Hoot.
going at for Ant's title. And before we get on to this, talk about this segment that everybody is so excited about.
That's
Shout out to
great.
Rob in the chat because I forget you like American Top Team too. I'm sorry, I always forget. I always feel like I'm the only one who likes the Dan Lambert stuff. But
Hey, I don't
you
mind
agree,
it.
Jack? I'm so tired of it.
I don't mind it, but I'm over it.
What do you think? Right? I get Ant and Jackie's opinions about American Top Team every week. I want to hear yours. How do you feel about them?
See, you guys know my gripe with it. I don't mind it except for one thing and one thing only. And that is when the MMA stars in this group decide to do fake wrestling. Because they do it horribly. They do it horribly. This beatdown this week, I was sitting here cringing because of the... They don't know how to throw fake punches, A. They know how to throw real punches, so when they try to do a fake punch, it just looks really bad. And then when they're using the weapons, they're like...
Oh, like Junior
a
Dos
light,
Santos this
yeah,
week,
just
right?
just a light, and then like Scorpio Sky grabs him, and goes, and just beating the shit out of Jericho. I'm like, that's how you do it. Beat the hell out of him. They can take it. Jericho's
Do it for
taking
Twitter.
candlesticks his entire life. Beat the shit out of him. That's why I don't
Yeah,
like.
didn't Jorge Masvidal like bust Jericho open with that knee?
Yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote. You mean Jericho reached
I mean-
into his wrist?
Oh yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm a mark and it got me.
I'm just like, I'm fine with like Dan Lambert's been amazing on the mic. He's cut like the best promos and getting that real heat and getting the crowd to boo the living crap out of him, which has been fantastic. I'm fine with it. They're gonna lose, by the way. Inner Circle is not taking an L from an MMA team just coming in here. But when they try to do what the wrestlers do, it just comes across on TV as horrible, like very bad. Like I expect WWE to do crap like this.
I don't think they're going to lose. I'm going to tell you why I don't think they're going to lose is because I think there's going to be collusion and the Inner Circle will finally break up and we'll all get what we wanted. I think America
I thought
Top
that
Team
way
could
too many
put an end
times.
to the Inner Circle, hopefully. And Allie brought up a great point in in the chat, and I think this is the way you have to look at it. Lambert is great as an obnoxious heel. As long as he gets his face punched, I can tolerate him. I totally agree. That is the purpose of Dan Lambert, is that you want to punch him so bad that you're going to cheer against the Ayatollah of Corona, Chris Jericho, to punch his face in at Elite View or at Full Gear. And I think that you're right, Kyle. The UFC people don't look the best when they're fake fighting. They need training. And there's one person in particular that I think would be a huge get for AEW if they decide to train, and that is Paige Van Zandt. And I think that is the hidden gem, and I think she's going to get involved, and I think she's going to cost them the match by hitting Jericho and getting.
But that's why I think they should have added her husband to the match, so it would make more sense for her being there, because we didn't see
Isn't
her
he more
husband.
of a prize fighter though? There's a risk there because the people that are involved in the match are not really,
Yeah, like
True.
you
It's a good
can't
point.
you can't put them. Yeah, you can't put the people that are making other companies money in that match. Like they could be on TV. Paige Van Zandt, I think, is retired now. So
Paige Van Zandt fights in a bare knuckle league. She
she
still
a-
fights.
she's
She's a
She's
bare
got
knuckle
OnlyFans.
fighter.
She'll be okay.
She's a bare knuckle fighter. Yeah, has she lost both her fights? Absolutely, but
sometimes
she is a bare knuckle fighter.
fights her OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so forget about this. This will be for the people who were there live,
Jackie's
just like
face.
me at Grand Slam. This is your bathroom break.
Lambert's taking
Also-
the L. Lambert is getting submitted by Jericho in the Boston Crab or Lion Tamer. That's how that match is going to end.
Yeah, or the Walls of Jericho, or whatever they had.
Whatever
Let's
they
just
wanna call
agree
it.
that should go first, so we can just get it over.
Just get it out
No,
the
this
way.
is the
No,
cool,
no, there's
this is
no
the
way.
cool down before the main event.
Yeah, 100%. 100% the cooldown before the main event. So now from that to we get Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian.
Damn right.
So Kyle, you're the Adam Cole guy.
Baby.
I want to start with you. What do you think about this? Just leading up to it, the concerto, everything that they got going on.
Well, could we talk about the big tease that they did on Dynamite with Bobby Fish, quote unquote, joining the Super Click, and quote unquote, because I think eventually once a certain individual comes over from NXT, because it's almost certain that this is why they're doing it, and they've probably talked to Kyle O'Reilly, and he's just like, yeah, I'm counting on the days. I'll be over there. As soon as it happens, I think Cole is going to turn on the Bucks and get his pals back together, and whatever they're going to be called, they can be called whatever. Or
They're
they
going to be
just
called Disputed Era.
they can go with Red Dragon. I don't know if they want to keep that name or go get that name trademarked again, because O'Reilly and Fish were Red Dragon back in Ring of Honor before NXT. But this match is still going to be fire. Like I love this feud. I've been loving this feud, especially loving between Cole and Jungle Boy. Clearly, that's the main story here is between those two. Hopefully, Nick is going to be okay. I know they showed on BT that it was just a bruised, was it bruised bone or something like that?
Bruised heel.
Oh
I
man,
think it
yeah,
was.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So he, I love them joking on BT. They're like, you guys didn't see it. They didn't film it. But Luchasaur threw me off the stage.
Yeah, he
I'm
was like he
"What?"
didn't wait to see if the camera was on before he threw me.
And he hurt his heel in doing it. But I guess he's okay. I'm sure that he's probably going to be fine. He'll ice the hell out of it, maybe pop a few Tylenol, and he'll be okay. Just thank God it's not broken. That's the main
Yeah,
thing,
they've worked
right?
on worse, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, though. It's going to be a really banger match. But as for winner, I was stuck on this one. I can see it going either way, but I'm going to pull for my boys. Pull my boys a Super
I think
Click.
Super Click
Super
wins.
Click goes
Super
over, I
Click.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, and shout out to Ali in chat with the ROH contract stuff. Would love to see Cole bring in the Kingdom, which is Matt Taven,
Yeah.
Maria Kanellis, and
Yeah.
Mike Bennett, which I would love because I'm a big Mike Bennett guy. I've loved Mike Bennett for a long time. And was it the media call, Kyle, or where Tony Khan is somewhere today said that he was asked about the Ring of Honor stuff if he's going
His
to bring
media
in,
call.
and he said, "Stay
Yeah.
tuned." He just said, "Stay tuned," which every time he says that, something crazy's going on. So we could see that, right? And shout out to Rob who mentioned earlier, Adam Cole is the Kevin Bacon of pro wrestling. Everyone is 6 degrees from Adam Cole because Adam Cole's been in so many groups, been attached to so many people with the Kingdom, with Mount Rushmore, with Bullet Club, with Undisputed
There's
Era,
no
with
dispute
so many
here.
things. Yeah, right. It's awesome. But Ant, what do you think about Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian?
Everything I've seen from them leading up to this match has sold me. You guys know I'm not the biggest Christian Cage guy. I like his spot that he's in right now, and I can appreciate that. But the guy continues to bring it and earn my respect more and more week in and week out. I mean, he's always had my respect. He's Christian fucking Cage. But the idea of him coming back and being in that spot, I was kind of like, oh, you could put someone else there. But this is perfect, man. Teaming with Luchasaurus. I'm a huge Jungle Boy fan. That is my guy in AEW. That's the guy I think Phil and I've had this conversation. We think he's going to be the future face of this company. He is so good, and he's getting better. And wrestling the Bucks and wrestling Adam Cole is only going to elevate him to a different level that we haven't seen. And I'm so excited to watch. It's going to be pandemonium because there's no rules. So, shit's going to be flying all over.
Does it falls count anywhere?
Falls count anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're going to be jumping. Jungle Boy's jumping off everything. Yeah. Like everything that you can think of, they're all jumping off.
I know they don't like screw finishes.
I can't wait.
I know they don't like screw finishes, but I have a feeling Bobby Fish is going to get involved in this match.
But the spot that we all know is going to happen because he hasn't been on TV in a while. I just want to see Marco Stunt beat the hell out of Brandon Cutler again. Just give me that all the time, every time.
Cutler deserves better. Cutler should throw him.
He's got 2 contracts. He's fine.
Cutler should throw him into the
dream, bro.
I love
Imagine your best friends growing up were the Young Bucks, and then they start a wrestling company that's taking over the world.
They hand you 2 contracts. They hand you 2 contracts. I really want.
There's 3 things I want in life: CM Punk to win a title, Nikki Bella to ask me to marry her, and I want the Elite Hunter to come back. I'm just kidding.
That last one is not true.
Listen, for anybody who's watching this Twitch feed right now, hey, you put that hood up. It's your black hoodie. You look like the Elite Hunter. Let's not.
Okay, here we go.
For audio listeners right now.
The Elite POV Hunter. It's the Elite POV Hunter. It's Anthony.
Every time Kyle and I watch, right? Every time we watch, we're like, oh my God, who is that? Oh, fuck, it's Frankie Kazarian.
Literally.
And he's such a great wrestler, but it's
he's
just like
awesome, but it's such a dumb gimmick, bro. He gets me excited. I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be CM Punk. No, it's Frankie Kazarian.
Who is it?
The POV Hunter. The chat has named you the POV Hunter.
Okay, that's gonna be
so many levels. There we go.
That's my. Usually, I was That's I used to be called the MILF Hunter, but I guess POV Hunter is.
POV Hunter is now.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Jackie, I want your opinion on this, right?
Yeah,
Jungle Boy has been growing out a very, very beautiful beard, right?
Oh,
should I do a theme song?
Jungle Man, shout out to Jamie Strange. Jungle Man is coming out.
Wait, hold up, get it right. Grown
weekend.
And sexy Jungle Man.
Right? Grown and sexy Jungle Man. Anna Jay got this man changing his life.
He's about to make an R&B record.
Yeah, exactly. But Jackie, what do you think about this match?
I see what you're doing, Kyle.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I think it would be really, oh boy, the
POV Hunter has under in the chat.
While the shenanigans are going on in the in the video, this is why you got to tune in live, guys. If you're listening to the audio, this is the stuff that you miss. I'm gonna go against the grain here, and I'm gonna say I think that Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian could pick up a win here because I want to see some dissension starting in the Elite or the Super Click, whatever you want to call them, between my predictions later on for the Kenny Hangman match. I just want this to be like the beginning of an end, so to speak, where things are going to start becoming fractured. So, and I think Jungle Boy deserves a freaking win at this point. He's got to gain his momentum. Yes, he's in the beginning of his career. He can afford to take a few losses, but I think this could be a really big one for him in particular. So I'm going to say that Jurassic Express and Christian take this.
But, I mean, let's talk about the fact that Jungle Boy has to fight Bobby Fish this week. Like, what? Like, on Rampage. It's just like, listen, bless AEW because they're putting Jungle Boy through the goddamn ringer this week.
He can take it. He's young.
But Jesus Christ, Bobby Fish is going to beat the hell out of him. And then he's going to have to go through a war with the Elite on Saturday. But like I said earlier, I think I want to see Super Click win. Just because, I don't know. I think it would be cool for them to win. There's probably going to be a lot of baby faces winning on this card. That's how I try to balance it out. I think Super Click wins this one. Now on to the next match, which, if you listen to AEW Unrestricted this week, was the match that Tony Khan wanted to talk about last because it's the match that besides the main event meant the most to him, and that is two of the pillars of AEW, MJF versus Darby Allin. Now, we didn't get to see anything from them in the ring this week, but we did get a little promo video. So I'll start with you, Ant. Darby Allin versus MJF. Are you excited for it, and who do you think is going to win?
This is the weird thing is I kind of totally, in spending my time trying to hunt the POV, I've been a little busy. I've totally really put this match under the radar, right? And there's no reason for it, but like in my excitement for Miro and Danielson and Punk and Eddie and Omega and Hangman, I've kind of lost sight of this great matchup that we're going to have. Now, MJF, I think, is much better before the bell rings, and I think Darby Allin's much better after the bell rings. So it's going to be great because I think MJF has built this into this personal story, and you couldn't do that without MJF, right? You needed his cockiness, his promo ability to build it to make it personal. But I think once it gets in the ring, I think Darby's going to carry this match. I think Darby gets a huge win because Darby has lost to CM Punk. I think Darby needs to pick up that win to pick up momentum. We don't care if MJF loses. The crowd wants him to lose. It won't hurt him if he loses because he'll make up some bullshit like blame Wardlow or something, and then there you go, right? He can make up some stupid angle of why he lost, and you're like, oh, here MJF goes again. I think Darby needs this win more than MJF because right now, Darby is the pillar that I'm not talking about and I'm not thinking about, which is strange because he's the guy who CM Punk came back to wrestle, right? Mm-hmm. When I think of the pillars, I think MJF's doing great things. He's pretty much undefeated. I'm thinking Sammy Guevara is a TNT champion. I'm seeing Jungle Boy feuding with the Super Click. Those three, I feel, have been elevated, and I'm just waiting for Darby to have that moment because I think Darby might be one of the coolest wrestlers out there. Punk says it all the time. Like, if I was a kid, I'd dress up like Darby Allin for Halloween, right? Darby Allin is so marketable. He's so good. But I just feel like he's kind of been playing it low. I think that changes this week. I think we see the elevation of Darby Allin.
I love that. You just made me think about something. So I think that if we go with what we all think is going to happen, except Kyle, we'll get to that later. I want to super kick him for even putting that negative energy out there into the atmosphere.
The POV Hunter's bullshit, Kyle.
All right. So if we all assume that, or we all want Hangman to win, and if, we see Miro win, or because we don't know how everything gets changed with Moxley getting taken out, but if we get Hangman versus Miro or Hangman versus Danielson, I think that they're going to want to keep Darby away from the main event scene as much as possible. So I think that Darby beating MJF here will, like Ant said, extend this feud and keep it going for a few months, maybe all the way up to Double or Nothing. It gives Darby something to do on one end with MJF. They're over there, so it keeps them away from these big main event players while we start getting these super dream matches with Punk and Danielson and Kenny and Hangman and all this stuff. So I do think that's a good idea. But Kyle, what do you think?
So a few things here. One is I'll bring up what Ant kind of said in the beginning. Like, you kind of forget that this match is even on the card. Now, I don't really see that as a problem because AEW only has 4 pay-per-views a year, and they build up those 4 pay-per-views like it's 4 WrestleManias each and every time, even though we kind of know that All Out is, I think there's arguments there that Tony Khan said Revolution is the WrestleMania, but they build up All Out like it's the WrestleMania.
I don't see Revolution being the. I'm sorry, I still see All Out.
He weirdly said that, and I'm like, okay.
Look at what they do for All Out weekend. That's
what I mean. That's where I go back and saying, like, I think they just build every pay-per-view like it's a WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 4 a year, you stack up the card as much as you can because you only have 4 pay-per-views a year. You have your like little special dynamites in between, like Grand Slam and all that stuff. Winter is here and all that all those crazy dynamites. But this match, I went with MJF winning here.
Okay.
Did I sway you?
No.
Because I'm swaying people in the chat. I'm a man of the people.
Originally I had Darby going over, but I thought about it and I'm sitting there going like, but what if I'd love to see Darby win and it was, MJF uses the Wardlow excuse. But I think the only way you're doing that is if you're finally going to pull the trigger. They have teased this MJF Wardlow separation for how many months now? Unless you're going to finally pull the trigger, stop having MJF blame Wardlow for everything. Because if it's
They
not
got to
gonna
pull the
lead
trigger.
if it's
They
not
have
going
to.
to lead anywhere, then why
That's
keep
gonna be
doing
a
it?
revolution match. It has to. Look how fucking awesome Wardlow was last night.
I know. So maybe this
I
is
got
what they're
so fucking sweaty watching him.
Yeah, but do you want to see the Pinnacle already start to have issues
Yes,
when they haven't
just
been
Wardlow.
like successful as a group?
Just Wardlow. Because then it's kind of like the Four Horsemen. So they kick Wardlow out, and then you have 4 members.
To be honest, though, they haven't really been doing stuff with the Pinnacle unless they have future plans of doing stuff because they kind of been on their own. They really haven't been doing anything as a faction besides that promo 2 weeks ago that they were backstage with MJF and FTR. But besides that, they haven't really, Sean Spears has appeared once in a while to come help out, whether it's FTR or whether it's
Yeah, I mean, they had the
MJF.
Pinnacle jumping Darby in the ski
But
match and everything like
we don't
that.
have tag team matches or 3-man matches as they're coming out as announced as the Pinnacle. They're not doing stuff as a team.
It happens more on Dark and Dark Elevation than it does on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I think AEW needs to be better at connecting it to their main show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, Jackie, and this is like directed towards you because you're an FTR person, right? If you were tuning in the last 3 weeks, you would think FTR works for Andrade, not MJF. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
there's slightly nuanced things where obviously
Yeah.
MJF has his moments where he's like, pay up because these are my guys, these are my mercenaries.
Luckily, they do that. But I mean, if you're just watching matches, FTR is always involved in Andrade's matches now.
Yes.
So it's like, is he part of their it's weird how they're doing. And I think the Pinnacle could be one of the most dominant factions of all time. I just want to see it more used as a faction, used as even if they I think kicking Wardlow out kind of makes them more of a faction, right? Because then you have the outlier and then he becomes the Pinnacle Hunter and they ruin him. No, but you can have like the Four Horsemen group like we all expected totally to have is now the Pinnacle, MJF, and then you have FTR as the best tag team and you have Sean Spears. That's kind of how I think it should go.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you put it that way, I just I don't know. I don't want to see them have any issues yet, but if they kind of tease it, I mean, they've been teasing it for so long. But I don't know, Jackie. Who do you think? You got all of our thoughts on who we do. Do you think MJF wins, or do you think Darby Allin wins?
Okay, I'm gonna try to not take this from such a methodical perspective of Darby lost his last match, but also MJF lost his last match to Jericho, and it's like
he
all
won
right.
technically.
I mean, well, technically. Technically, we don't do technically here. I would like to see Darby go over and then have this be the catalyst, as everybody in the chat is saying, as you guys have mentioned, have this be the catalyst to Wardlow and MJF. I think they have slow burned this long enough. Everybody's already chomping at the bit. People want to see MJF get his ass handed to him. And even if it's something, this is a feud that they could stretch out realistically. I don't really need to see Darby and MJF stretched out beyond this pay-per-view, but I would like to see this be the kickoff to finally getting the feud between Wardlow and MJF.
Can I just add to that to ask you a question, Jackie? Is because I want to know if you're feeling what I'm feeling. Is it because I'm excited for this match, but is it because Darby is not the best promo that I don't want to see this go further? Is that kind of how you feel? I feel like anytime they get on the mic, I'm like, damn, just don't. Just make him make the cool vignettes where he's killing them, but don't have him. Do you feel the same way? It kind of played against Darby having them be live on microphones.
I think that entered so much into it for me. I think honestly, because I'm more intrigued by this other aspect that's been brewing beneath the surface, this tension between MJF and Wardlow, it kind of detracted a little bit from the Darby aspect of it. This, like I said, this to me could be a one and done, and I'd be cool with it. But the more interesting thing to me is the subplot that's happening.
Listen,
yeah, I agree.
I got something interesting to say. Right? We're gonna start the giveaway, right?
Hey.
All right, we're gonna start the giveaway right in the middle of our prediction show. I told you it was gonna be a surprise when I felt like doing it.
We wasted a good surprise on you.
It's the good surprise on you.
So, Kyle, let everybody know how this is going on.
All right, folks, in a second here, because obviously when production hoot over here doing it for the first time, I had to reset everything, so now I got to reset the giveaway. So, folks, when I say go, not yet, when I say go.
When I say elite, you say POV.
Exclamation mark ticket in the chat will give you one ticket, and you can only do it once to get one ticket into the draw for the $25 Shop AEW gift card. So when I say go, you will put exclamation mark ticket in the chat. It'll tell you in the chat when the giveaway is started, and then we'll wait a few minutes. We'll kind of keep chatting, and then we'll do the giveaway. It'll choose the system here on Twitch. We'll choose a random person for that giveaway, and then how do you guys want them to contact you?
DM the Elite POV account on Twitter.
Yep, and we'll take it from there.
Card giveaway, okay.
All right, and we could start talking about the next match when he's doing that, or do you want to have him just say go live and then we just talk?
So I'm going to start it right now.
So exclamation mark ticket, right?
Yes, it should
Yes.
work.
I'm winning this
So
gift card.
exclamation
I'm
mark
buying it for myself.
ticket in the chat right now. This is
it's
why
not
everybody who was listening later on
Hold up,
YouTube
it's not
and on
working.
podcast platforms, you
It's
cannot
not
miss our live shows. Twitch.tv/Elite POV
I
while
don't
we
know
set
why
this
it's not
up.
working. Hold on.
Hold on, guys. We're gonna have to redo this in a minute because
wow.
It's logged in. I don't know why it's not working.
Kyle.
We're live,
As
pal.
everybody writes exclamation ticket.
Yeah, we're
Chat.
just spam it. Yeah, fuck it. I'm
You
gonna
guys
win
keep
anyway.
talking. I'll figure it out.
All right.
All
well,
right, so let's go on while Kyle figures this out. Let's go on to the next match that we have here on this list, which, 2 weeks ago, didn't even realize this was a thing.
Oh,
2 weeks ago, we were wondering what CM Punk was gonna do at Full Gear, right? Then we get the moment backstage with Eddie Kingston. Then we get the promo that made us cry. We get the promo that just got us. Eddie Kingston put out that great piece in the Players Tribune. That is an unbelievable read.
did you see the promo that was on Twitter? I don't think they played it on AEW. Like
What
the
promo
Eddie
was it?
Kingston vignette for the match against Punk.
That was on the road to Dynamite.
Was it on the road to Dynamite?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
straight
Oh,
freaking
I'm
fire.
cheering for Eddie Kingston.
yeah. And then of course,
The
like we
CM
said
Punk
earlier,
guy is cheering
got-
for Eddie Kingston.
we got the gift. We got the gift that keeps on giving, and that's Eddie Kingston running at full speed. Bless Ruby Soho for trying to keep up with him. Right?
Shout out to my brother Nate in the chat, because the first thing he texted was, he's like, the only thing that a New Yorker is gonna run like that for is like if he's trying to catch the train or he's about to miss the bus, because like
Yeah, that's a good
otherwise,
point.
when have you ever freaking seen Eddie Kingston break out into full sprint?
That's
like
a good
that?
good point. But I want to start with you, Ant. You're the CM Punk guy. You love Eddie Kingston just like all of us. That promo just took you to another level. How excited are you for everything that is Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk?
This is my match of the night. Like, this is the one. Like, obviously, Hangman Omega, I've waited for so long. I didn't know you could make me care about something in so little time, right? It's like 2 weeks of dating someone. You're like, I love you. That's exactly how I feel right now.
Yeah,
I'm so like in love with the idea of Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk. I don't want it to end. I want this match to be like the catalyst to start a feud where they just cut promos on each other for a month and then they meet at Revolution, or 2 months or however long, because it is just, this is the Punk we wanted. This is the Punk we've been asking for. Yes, the happy-go-lucky Punk has been fun. Who's the man who can bring the beast out of CM Punk? And it's Eddie Kingston, because Eddie Kingston's a different breed. And I think, Eddie Kingston talking about mental health, and Eddie Kingston talking about, the Players Tribune, which was 100% him as a real person talking.
Yes.
Those are the things that, like, that guy might be my favorite wrestler, because he's so relatable and he's so real. And I feel like I could sit down and have a talk with him and just connect on so many levels, because he's so genuine, and he's like the common man, right? And I know people used to call Duff the common man.
I'm gonna stop it right now. Duffy, guys, everybody, exclamation mark ticket in the chat right now. Get you one ticket into the draw. It is open right now. Tickets are coming in like hot fire, like sapphire. Here they come.
So when you
So from my perspective, for people who are watching this, so from our perspective, we cannot see Kyle, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat. on my iPad right here, so I see everyone on a delay what you guys are seeing, right? But so it would just blew my mind. I'm looking at Ant and he's not moving, but I'm hearing Dusty because Kyle and Ant sound exactly the same.
We found the thing what we're doing, baby. That's the whole thing. The whole reason we're doing this, Daddy. No, but
it's the Dusty
this
Twins,
match,
Daddy. It's the Dusty
right,
Twins.
No Dusty to finish tonight. Eddie Kingston is literally like the common man. Like Eddie Kingston's the guy. Like it's relatable that Nate said that, right? Because like Eddie Kingston's the guy you sit next to on the train to go to work, and you talk about how fucked up your job is, and you talk about how you hate, hate the man, and you want to stick it to the man because he's making you do this. Eddie Kingston is that kind of performer, that kind of person where it's just impossible not to cheer that guy. And as much as I love CM Punk, and I'm happy he came back, I was without you for 7 years, right? And I missed you. But Eddie Kingston right now with his story is exactly what I want to be a TNT champion. I want to see him capture gold. I want to see him beat CM Punk. I want Eddie Kingston to be remembered as the guy who beat CM Punk. And I love CM Punk, but I think Eddie Kingston has earned that accolade. Because this guy just walked in. Yeah, this guy just walked in. He didn't even have a contract. And people are cheering Eddie over CM Punk in audiences. Never would have thought that would have happened. But that's the kind of star Eddie Kingston is.
And they've been teasing Eddie Kingston getting like a huge victory, right? With him and Moxley, or him against Death Triangle, or him against who do you fight next? Miro. Right? It seems like he's right there and he loses. He's right there and he loses. So yes, you could definitely see it. Like someone mentioned earlier in the chat, they just beat the hell out of each other. It's an absolute war, just like Kingston and Danielson was. And then CM Punk ends up getting the victory, but Eddie Kingston looks even stronger in it. Or, like Ant says, maybe this is the moment Eddie Kingston gets his big win, because if anybody's going to be the first one to beat CM Punk on his return, why not be somebody who is organically loved for being themselves inside and outside of the ring, like Eddie Kingston? Now, Jackie, you also absolutely love Eddie Kingston. A lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. I know we've talked behind the scenes of you doing a video talking about his article in the Players Tribune, all this stuff. Just what do you think of this match going into the pay-per-view this weekend?
I'm so freaking hyped. This is one of my front runners for match of the night. Just from a personal level, I think Eddie Kingston is one of the most remarkable, once in a lifetime kind of people. I won't say character, because to me, Eddie Kingston is not a character. He goes out there. There's no gimmick. It's very raw and reality based. And in that promo, the initial promo between, I don't even want to call it a promo. See, it's like nothing feels scripted. I get it. It is, but it just felt like Eddie Kingston was the first one to really get the crowd to kind of turn on Punk. And it brought out a certain level of arrogance and nastiness in Punk. Just the way that he was just kind of nonchalant, like, I judged you. I wasn't the only one. It's so raw and realistic to me. I really, in my heart of hearts, would love to see Kingston go over on this one. I don't think he will. I think this is going to go and it's going to stretch itself out. And I'm here for it. Don't let this be a one and done. Let's get the rematch. And I want Kingston to get his triumphant win over Punk. I freaking love Eddie Kingston to the moon and back. Like you mentioned, I will be putting a video piece together, just talking about what Eddie Kingston's candidness and transparency has meant to me personally. He's a star to me on so many levels, and he really deserves this moment. But in my heart of hearts, I think that Punk is going to take it at Full Gear.
Hey, either way, man. Either way, you could see going either way. But Kyle, what do you think?
This is going to be a fight. I'm actually shocked that this wasn't booked as a lights out match or some sort of no rules, no holds barred something, because these guys have been in this very, very small build, made it so intense and made it so physical. Like Eddie Kingston said it himself, I'm not coming to wrestle, I'm coming to fight. So like, why I'm sitting here going, okay, then why is there not a stipulation? Why are we not doing lights out or some sort of match where there's a stipulation involved that's just going to be no rules, because now they're going to be fighting each other under rules. Like the referees are going to have to separate if they're going to brawl against each other, and there needs to be a ref separation. And people don't want to see that. People want to see these two beat the living shit out of each other. But they're both wrestlers in the end. They're both professional wrestlers. So we're going to get that professional wrestling match as well. I do see Punk winning and doing at the same time putting Eddie Kingston over. I think we're going to get another moment where Eddie Kingston doesn't tap. He gets choked out, and it's him getting locked in the Anaconda Vice with the middle finger up or something, and then just like the same thing he did to Daniel.
The whole story to me, though, is the story that Punk and Cena told, and there's callbacks all over it about how a man doesn't belong. CM Punk doesn't think Eddie Kingston worked hard enough. Same story as Daniel Bryan. You're hearing it. Eddie Kingston didn't work. Eddie Kingston was the next chosen one, but he failed. And that's why I think Eddie Kingston wins, because then he'll gain Punk's respect, and it'll end with a handshake in the middle of the ring. Both guys leave with cheers. That's just how the storyline, the beautiful written story, should go.
Shout out to Rob for the comment of the night. It's a no rules match if Rick Knox is the referee. That popped
dude,
me.
Facts, man.
It's that guy.
Leave my boy Rick Knox alone, man. I met him at Full
man.
Gear 2019. Guy's like the most humble human being in the world. And
Listen, I'm sure he's
an
a great
adorable
guy,
old man.
That doesn't
Okay,
take
It's
away
so
from
weird
the
though,
fact
because
that
Kyle met him.
his questionable.
Kyle met him, and he didn't even see him there.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't see fucking anything.
Rick Knox in his entire career has never seen one tag be made.
No.
Christ, bro.
Anyways,
So now we go on to the next match, which is
hold
FTR.
Hold it.
What?
Do you want me to close
What?
the giveaway, or are we going to leave it open?
We're gonna do it after this.
After this match.
because
Alright.
we need Jackie to have her moment.
Okay.
Yes. FTR versus the Lucha Brothers. Now, remind me, Jackie, is this for the AAA tag team titles or just the AEW tag
Just
team
for the
titles?
AEW
It should be
tag
for
team
both.
titles.
That's just me. It should be for both. They should have just put both on the line.
They should, and they should
Agree.
unify them, but
Unify them.
They can't unify.
Unify-
them. AAA is still
no,
a
no,
thing.
I don't mean like unify them, meaning like make somebody an undisputed champion.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
to
I'm going to
have
say
both
unify. Are we getting rid of AAA? Or
Yeah.
are you
No,
putting
no,
AAA
no,
in
no,
business?
we're not
He
doing
bought
that.
AAA. Damn it.
We just lost Ring of Honor. We're going to lose them too? Christ, bro.
Thank you, Adam, in the chat. Winner takes all is what I meant.
Now we got you.
Yeah, Jackie
Oh,
said.
Rob
fuck
is saying
AAA.
FTR versus Lucha Brothers was announced for Triple Mania in December. All right,
Okay.
so those would be for the. But Jackie, listen, you have to talk about FTR first. So we're going to you first. What do you think about this?
So, I know I could be burned at the stake for this
Oh.
because because the Lucha Brothers just won it feels like they just won these belts at All Out. They have not had a very long reign, nor has it felt to me personally, and you guys can feel free to chime in and agree or disagree with me. It doesn't feel like a lot has been done with this title reign in terms of defenses. So, my hope is that FTR goes over at Full Gear, which is no surprise to anybody. However, long-term storytelling and long-term booking. I have been saying I want my boys, Santana and Ortiz, out of the inner circle and into the title picture. I want FTR to take these belts. I want Santana and Ortiz to be the next in line for them because that story is already built in. They've already had their fire-ass feud. Run that back, and it'll make the title win for Proud and Powerful so much better.
Hell yeah.
So I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. I can't wait for it. Every time that the Lucha Brothers and FTR have gotten in the ring with each other, it's been freaking phenomenal. They somehow, we always talk about chemistry. They're just two great teams that bring out the best in each other. So it's going to be a phenomenal match, but I want FTR to go over.
Yeah, I agree. But listen, you make some good points, right? I want FTR to win, but if I had to bet, I would say Lucha Brothers because they did win the belts at All Out, and they haven't really done a lot with them. They've kind of been the background of this Andrade versus Pac feud, and AEW has shown a history of not doing these super quick title changes, especially in the tag division, right? Everybody's had a pretty lengthy.
I will interject and say that FTR won their tag team titles at All Out and lost them to the Young Bucks at Full Gear. Same
Okay,
amount of
forget everything I just said.
that are in.
FTR is winning. That is my pick. FTR is winning. I'll go to you, Kyle. Who do you think's gonna win this?
Lucha Brothers are gonna win. I'm sorry, Jackie.
Okay.
Lucha Brothers are gonna win this match. It's gonna be great. I want to see another Cash Wheeler moonsault that we saw in that one Dynamite.
That 450 splash, man.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it was a 450 splash. That's what I'm talking about on that Dynamite. Back before when they were still at Daly's place. Yeah, you know that these two are gonna put on a banger of a tag team match. They're gonna compete with the other tag team match with Cody Rhodes and Malachi for best tag team match of the night. I think it's gonna be an insane tag match. Lucha Brothers, again, I agree with the fact that they just won the belts. It kind of looks like the Lucha Brothers are getting pushed very, very heavily. And if that, what Rob said is true, and he screams that Lucha Brothers are going to win the AAA belts back from the FTR at Triple Mania, and they're going to have both belts, and they're just going to look like a freaking dominant team going into 2022. And who knows, maybe it is FTR that eventually beats them again. Maybe they get a rematch down the line, or I wouldn't mind a Lucha Brothers versus Santana and Ortiz for the tag team belts at like a Revolution or Double or Nothing. That is going to be like their tag division is so good that any combination of a match is going to be fire. So I understand like the long-term storytelling of it, but I think the Lucha Brothers just come out on top here. It's too early for them to drop the belts. They worked so hard to get to that point. Like everyone thought they were going to be like the first tag team champions. Like that was kind of looking like it was going to be them. Like when AEW first started, like, okay, when they're going to get tag belts, these boys are going to be the first title or first champions. And it took them all the way till 2021 to finally get those belts, and it's way too early to take them off them. So Lucha Brothers with the win.
I could see that too, and I agree with you. But as much as I love the Lucha Brothers, I want Santana and Ortiz to hold that title, and the stories with FTR. I think.
Yeah, but Ant, no one more than you knows this, because every time you bring up Santana Ortiz, we always talk about their matches. They're incredible matches.
Oh my God, on Impact.
But not just Impact. They brought it to a bunch of different companies where Santana Ortiz went against Lucha Bros. If you guys want to look it up online, it's LAX versus Lucha Bros, because that's when Santana Ortiz were LAX and Impact.
LAX
and
for life.
They had some banger matches, absolute banger matches. So hey, maybe they
go
to that feud again.
I'm good with that. You have to turn Santana Ortiz heel, which hopefully you break up the inner circle and you do.
No,
right?
You could turn Lucha Brothers heel.
I don't know. I don't see that right now. I see more of, but like I want to see FTR versus Santana Ortiz. We never really got to finish that. Like, we had a huge injury, which we thought was going to be over, but like we want to see that finish. We want to see the titles, and it's okay to have them drop the belts. Not everyone has to hold the belts forever. Wrestling is about moments, and you're never going to forget the moment that the Lucha Bros beat the Young Bucks in the cage in one of the best cage matches ever, and Penta with his kid. You're not going to forget that moment. Wrestling is about moments. So we don't need to have these lengthy reigns all the time as long as the moment is right. Right now, it feels like it's FTR's time to hold these belts in front of audiences and defend them against face tag teams. Maybe you can get some Jurassic Express. You could get a bunch of people that can come for these belts. And then Santana and Ortiz can have their moment and beat FTR. That's just where I want the story to go. I would not be surprised if the Lucha Brothers retain, but then where do the Lucha Bros go from there? I think the story's easier to tell with FTR than with the Lucha Bros.
Lucha Brothers
again, a lot
Andrade.
of things can change. A lot of things can change, right? Yeah, maybe Andrade and Black are a tag team now. We don't know. A lot of things can shift and change and turn. But for my mind, the story is PMP taking the belts off FTR eventually.
That'd be epic. That would be absolutely epic. So this is a last call. We'll give you guys one last chance to enter the giveaway. It is exclamation point ticket in the chat to enter the raffle for your gift card. So I'll give you guys one last chance.
You can only do it once too.
Only once.
The chat. I saw a couple of you trying to do it twice. It stopped you. Only once.
Yeah, this new viewer we have in the chat, I saw earlier. Game of Wrestling. I saw try to get more than one ticket in there.
Let's try again. And listen, if you guys, Elite POV merch is up, the new stuff. If you guys want an Elite POV shirt instead of the AEW card, you can message us that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll open it up for any shirt that you want with the Elite POV t-shirt or a $25 gift card. So you can pick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. ElitePOVmerch.com for
I'm gonna
anybody
win
who
anyway.
was
I'm
wondering
gonna win.
that website. If you win,
I swear to God, if it picks you, I'm going to lose it. We're drawn again.
Like, I'll flip my desk.
We're drawn again.
Exactly.
All right, Teresa Judice, let's calm down over there. Fuck.
Listen, let's not keep everybody in suspense more. Is there a way to get the winner?
Yeah, there is actually. So I'm going to
let's
close
do
the
it.
giveaway. We're going to draw the winner, folks. Here we go. At random.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Stream Elements on behalf of them.
Anybody
Select
but Game of Wrestling.
Nate Leon
Hey,
3
Nate.
Look at that.
with a 5.88% chance to win. Look at
Congratulations, Nate, in the chat for winning
Literal
the
brother
gift card.
Nate.
Yeah, brother
exactly.
Nate, I knew you'd come.
Yeah. Awesome. So remember,
So your shirt
Nate,
will be with Jackie.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You
So
can
that-
text
let's-
me.
Yeah, exactly. You already know everything. It would be the
whatever.
easiest giveaway.
Yeah, she already has
we've
an
ever done.
order, and it's fucking ordered already.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's move on to a match we thought we'd have to wait a long time for, right? A match that we thought might not ever happen in this company, which is Miro versus Bryan Danielson in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. And where do you see this going? Who do you think is going to win this one?
Much like I think Punk loses, I think Bryan Danielson loses. Bryan
Wow.
Danielson has had a
Whoa.
fucking amazing run, and he's putting on the best matches. I would say he is the best wrestler in the world. Sorry, Kenny. I just
Debatable.
want to call him fucking Daniel Bryan so much.
Just say Brian.
Jim Ross did you hear him?
Yeah,
Just-
all the
just
time.
say
But
Bryan.
I mean, I can't even blame him, right?
Just
Because
say
I do it.
Danielson.
Danielson.
Or
Danielson.
Brian. Or just say Brian.
Wax
Brian's
on,
his first name.
wax
Oh,
off.
Just say
Yeah,
Brian.
just say Brian.
But all right, so this is why I 100% believe that Moxley was going to turn heel and win,
Mm-hmm.
and Moxley was then going to be Hangman's challenger. I've told this story last week. I've told this story to Rob. The God giveth, God taketh away. But with Miro as the Redeemer, he even mentioned, was it because you trust me? Was it because, did you make me drop that title because you had a bigger plan for me? And I think you could fucking run with that. And I think Miro and Bryan beat the fuck out of each other. And I think Miro wins, and Miro becomes that challenger for Hangman Page. What better challenger for Hangman than a guy that can literally rip you limb from limb? And it's believable. And he has his God back, and he's now redeeming this again. And he's going after this title because he's lost everything he's ever accomplished, and God put him in this position. And to me, that is such a better story than Bryan Danielson winning and going against Hangman. Now, if Bryan Danielson wins, my prediction is Kenny Omega keeps the belt.
Don't put that evil into
I
this
am
universe.
just
We're not even
saying.
up to that match yet.
I'm
No,
just
Kyle has
saying.
already
Stop.
infected your mind
I
with
am
the
just-
evil.
So if Bryan Danielson wins, he is facing Kenny Omega. That I don't think he's winning. I think Miro is fucking 100% winning this match. But if he wins, don't be shocked at the end.
And listen, and shout out to
You
Miro's
dirty whore
promo.
mouth,
I
man.
mean, that's pushing the term long-term story building.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Just saying, but I don't. So to clear it up, this is like the fucking Orange Cassidy thing all over again. I don't think Bryan's winning. I said Miro's going to win this match. I'm just saying, I don't. What are you going to turn Bryan Danielson heel? He's the fucking best wrestler in the company, and the fans are.
They don't necessarily
going
have to be
nuts.
heel face though. They've done title matches where it's been two heels or two baby faces, and they
I need a
put on
story.
bigger
Hangman needs a
matches.
story for his
Because
first
well, if the
defense.
title's not changing hands, he's not going to drop it to Bryan. Then they can just go in both as a baby face.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson's going to lose. Punk and Danielson lose on the same night. Man, I should start betting. I'm probably going to lose all my money, but whatever.
But listen, but before I get another take from you guys, shout out to Miro's promo this week with the banger of a line that popped me huge, which was, "You have to say goodbye to your wife so I can say hello to mine." And Savannah in the chat, I absolutely think that CJ is going to show up in this company. I think she loves wrestling way too much to be kept out. I think if she was going to sign with Impact, it would have happened already. I know she's filming a movie right now, if we're going by her Instagram stories. But I think that this storyline and the way that Miro keeps mentioning her over and over again, especially with that line that I just said, I think she is coming probably the beginning of the year.
I bet you Brie shows up in AEW eventually too.
Who does?
Brie. No, as a wrestler?
No, she can't.
No, she can't. They're under a Legends deal. Yep, they can't.
Well, yeah. Well, so on who said it? I think Danielson said it.
We're gonna have to get rid of you. Bunch of cuts.
Sorry, Brie. I know your family and all, but
so the reason they're able,
glass of wine, Brie.
The reason they're able to use the Bella Twin name is because all their businesses have some.
Well, that's why they're going to be the beautiful siblings.
Yeah, the beautiful.
Yeah,
siblings.
we've been saying that for so many years. Yeah. Didn't you make a graphic, or
I
was
did.
it Kyle that made the graphic?
I made it.
I still have it.
But
sign
Kyle,
up for Patreon. You get the graphic.
Miro or Danielson.
I'm going with my boy Brian. I liked what Ant said with the whole Miro thing. It makes sense. Like he's got a big like push ahead of him right now. After just from them announcing Mox out and Miro in, what he's done in these 2 weeks to build himself as a legit chance of winning against Brian has been amazing. We've seen him cut these unreal promos since he's gotten into AEW, and I know Miro just screams like he'd be a very big world champion. He would be awesome. And I think eventually a time will come that he will win the belt. Whether it's the TNT belt back again or the world championship, which I hope is the world championship, because I think he deserves that and he deserves a run with that belt. Maybe they'll wait until CJ's in there. That would be a pretty good tandem. It would be cool too eventually if they explored it and they had him show up, maybe not signed, but show up for a couple of matches when Karrion Kross and Scarlett become free agents. Yeah, become free agents. They bring him in and do a CJ and Miro thing, and Kross and
CJ and Scarlett in the same ring. I'll be fucking five knuckle shuffling.
So, anywho, yeah, Brian's gonna win, and then again, doesn't matter who wins the main event. Either if they did pick Omega, this would be a very interesting pick, and we'll get to that. Or if Hangman win that Brian's not going to win the belt if he wins, but it's still going to put on. So if it's Hangman or if it's Kenny, either one is going to put on a stellar match.
These guys have to lose eventually.
I don't think it's going to be at the next pay-per-view, though.
Lose.
I don't think it's going to be at
pay-per-view. They have to lose, though. They have to.
It's not
if you keep someone undefeated, it fucks them up. Phil and I have said this forever about Rant with Ann about Asuka, about anyone. When you keep
if this was a year into Brian being here, but he just got here. It's not even considered.
And he's had more matches than
He's had 4 or 5. It's not an undefeated streak yet. I wouldn't even consider that an undefeated streak.
He's losing.
Billy Gunn. No one said anything about Billy Gunn. He won 18. Or Austin Gunn. He won 18 straight matches. No one batted an eye.
No, it wasn't Austin. It was the other brother.
Sorry, it was the other brother. He was 18-0 on the website. No one said anything.
He was like, I want Kenny Omega. Damn, what's the other brother's name?
It's Austin.
Colton.
Gunn. Yeah, Colton.
Colton.
Yeah, I don't think Colton Gunn's lost yet. I think he's still undefeated, but no one's giving him a title shot. Justice for Colton Gunn, man.
The real story about the Gunn Club is that Billy's real name is Kip Sop. And I think people overlook that too much because Kip Sop is a great fucking... I saw Kip Sop over at RHW in Rochester. Kip Sop.
That reminds me of Zach and Mary Make a Porno, remember? When he was like, I'm going to be... What was the fake name he gave?
Oh, man.
Off the rails.
It is off the rails, but listen, this is a
great joke.
This is a Kip Sop appreciation. Rob, at All In, this all ties together because we were drinking at All In, hanging out near Cody Rhodes. Matt Stryker brought us drinks. We're sitting there bullshitting, and Rob pulls out, Billy Gunn's name is fucking Kip Sop, and we lost it. All of us, whole bar.
Yeah, justice for the Gunn Club, by the way. They deserve title matches. AW, if you're watching, give them title matches, man. What are you doing? What's the wait?
Kyle's first
screw PNP, screw FTR. Why ain't the Gunn Club getting the title shot? What
Billy
answer
Ass
is that?
and the Ass Boys in the chat. Billy Ass and the
Billy
Ass
Ass
Boys.
and the Ass Boys.
Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. The Sop
Great.
Club.
Jackie, who do you think's gonna win?
You guys have brought up some really interesting points. However, I don't think Danielson is ready to lose yet.
Hey.
Oh, come on, Jackie, you're usually on my side.
I'm
club.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's just Danielson has been on this like incredible run, incredible momentum, and Kyle does have a point. It's not really, I mean, like, yes, he is technically undefeated, but can you call it an undefeated
So
streak
here's my
yet?
question. So he's on an amazing run. Today, my fat ass got up and I went on an amazing run. And guess what happened? Eventually, I had to stop or I would die.
But it wasn't.
Eventually.
If
but
you're comparing
not
it to
yet.
Brian's run, that's like you running out the front door and out to the driveway and back.
Kyle, you'd be out
That's
of breath
the same
too.
run.
Don't judge me. Go do your DDP yoga.
Maybe I will.
Asshole.
I'm out of here.
One
No,
and done.
but-
Kyle's gone already. No, I think Danielson is gonna win and then move forward to fight Hangman. What I think could happen is, I know, like, we always say, like, oh, you know, AEW is not really big on doing like shenanigans and title matches and stuff like that for, you know,
Nope.
disqualifications or, you know, the sneaky pin or something like that.
Titles
But
mean
could
more
this
here.
But could this be the moment?
Nope.
Danielson goes for the title and it's not a clean finish. Somebody else gets involved. Start the next feud. Take Danielson away from the title picture again to let Hangman have his run. Because yes, Hangman, Adam Page, cowboy shit himself, is going to win this fucking match. I don't care.
No
I don't
shenanigans,
care.
Jackie.
I don't-
No,
That'll be
we're gonna
Brian's
get
first
to it.
loss. That'll be Brian's first loss. Is in that
We're
title
gonna
match.
get to it. We're going to listen. We have a lot to yell about when it comes to that. All right. Now the next match that I'm excited for, because even
It's
though
me
listen,
versus running.
yeah, well, yeah,
I
also
lost.
me versus any type of physical activity or
Word.
being outside. Is Ty Conti, my girl, versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. Listen, I got to start this off, right?
Yes,
It's
sir.
one of those things where it's like Britt Baker's like 99% going to win, right? I think that even with we saw this past week, Thunder Rosa is still kind of circling Britt Baker. It seems like something they're going to get back to. Britt Baker hasn't really had like a blood feud. She's had little short feuds here and there. Even the Ty Conti feud, as great as it's been very short. It's only been the last couple of weeks. So I don't think that somebody who's getting thrown into a feud with a champion for only a few weeks is going to win the title, especially in AEW. They don't seem to do that often. But also, AEW likes to do stuff for the fans. They like to do stuff that's going to get the pop. They like to do stuff that's unexpected, that's going to be talked about, and maybe Ty Conti does win, right? We mentioned earlier in the show, Tony Khan, huge fan of Ty Conti. Maybe he pulls the trigger. Maybe Britt Baker wanted time off. Maybe Britt Baker needs time off. I don't know. Who knows, right? Britt Baker has 2 full-time jobs, which is still incredible to me that she's still a full-time dentist and also a pro wrestler and travels and does all this stuff. But so I'm going to go to Jackie first. Actually, no.
So,
We're going to save Jackie for the end. I'm
Oh,
going to
damn.
Kyle first,
Wow.
right? As
he
a
just
man,
flirted me.
That was a great
I'm
fucking
sorry. I'm sorry.
fake
I'm sorry. I'm going to Kyle first as a man who also has a lot of love for Ty Conti.
Oh, I do. But...
Where do you think this is going to go?
Oh man, it sucks because you look at her record and it's like, damn, she's also built a really good record this year. Like she's like 30-3 or something like that. She's really
She's like 30 something and 4. I
she's
think
put
they
on
said.
the work. She's put in the work. Although I do agree with you, it's too short of a feud to just kind of switch the title like that. I think the only title that, well, I'll get into that later, but there's only gonna be one title change at Full Gear. And I really can't see Ty winning it here because I think the story is that Britt's going to hold that belt for an entire year. She ain't losing that belt until Double or Nothing again. And whoever is going to be primed ready to be then, or if I'm thinking you keep building it, the long-term story is still there and they still have a feud. You saw even when they started the match, the commentators made mention of it. Thunder Rosa thinks going to take the belt off Britt eventually. I think that's your story there because she's just as over as Britt. If you listen to the crowd when both of them come out, Thunder Rosa is way over with the crowd no matter where they go.
Don't they call it the Thunder Rosa pop? I've heard
so.
a lot of times
Really?
Mark Henry calls it the Thunder Rosa pop. Yeah.
Either way, she's going to take the title off Britt eventually, and I think she's going to take it off a year after Britt's held it for an entire year and has run through most of the roster up until that point. So, unfortunately for our girl Ty, I wish it would be a really cool moment to see her win the belt. It would be awesome. I would shed a tear, but it's not going to happen, but she's still going to put on a good match. Britt's going to win, and she'll move on.
How dare you? How dare you?
Listen, if Ty Conti somehow leaves Full Gear with that championship belt, I'm gonna need a minute. There's gonna be a lot of tears flowing, man. It's gonna be a good time. But Jackie, now
Speaking of tears, patreon.com/elitepov. Go join the tiers. Thank you to Nate, Rob, and Fret so far being our first
Shout-outs.
patrons.
Thank you.
Hey, shout out.
Now, Jackie, me and Kyle both have a tremendous amount of love for Ty Conti. Please tell me, as the voice of reason on this show, all right? Please tell me there's a chance for Ty Conti to win this championship because I really want it to happen.
I'm so sorry, Phil.
I knew you were gonna break my heart. I knew it.
That's what I do. That's what I do. You think I'm the voice of the reason, but I'm the heartbreaker on this show. I just gotta come in here and say,
Heartbreaker.
yeah, the heartbreaker.
Name shouldn't be Love
You're
You Make, it should be Love You Take.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Love You Take 24.
Oh my god. So I thought that the unrestricted interview with Tony Khan today really went in on Ty Conti and just the respect that TK has for Ty as a competitor. And he brought up a really interesting point that I hadn't even thought of. And Britt is the perceived advantage here because she's the champ going into the match. But he said Ty has way more combat experience in terms of years of combat experience than Britt does. And that's where she has the leverage in the match.
Mhm.
However, I agree that the next person to take that belt is going to be mi reina, Thunder Rosa.
Oh, a little Spanish there.
I freaking love Thunder Rosa. That is my, if I had to think about somebody that's my hero, that's her. So she's going to be the one. Ty has had an incredible run and she will get her moment. Thunder Rosa.
Thank you.
But no, Ty, I'm sorry, Phil. I love you, but Ty Conti ain't leaving with that belt. Britt
Listen,
Baker,
and
DMD is retaining.
let's be honest, right? And I can even be honest here, right? The AEW's biggest criticism of over the first 2 years were what? The women's division doesn't mean anything. They don't put time in growing the women, all this stuff, right? Everybody said all these things. Now the women's division is on fire. We've seen in, a lot of these Dynamite episodes, especially in the Ty Conti, Britt Baker segments, whatever they're doing, even before they were in feuds with each other, they get the highest rated segments of the night. So let's be honest, the biggest match in the women's division, judging by the social media outpouring of love, the craziness that was Britt versus Thunder Rosa lights out. Like, the biggest match you could do in the company is Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Like Kyle said, double or nothing. You have that be one of the big. Hey, that might even be the main event of the night, depending on what who I think will be the champion and Hangman will do. But maybe they main event with Britt and Thunder Rosa, right? It's possible. If Ty Conti wins, it'll be just for me and Kyle. So
Hey,
I think
Ty Conti. What? This is bullshit.
Listen, but you like Ty Conti, but me and Kyle love Ty Conti. You're the Jade Cargill guy. Okay, your girl's probably going to win the TBS title on January 5th in Newark, New Jersey.
Right, get it right. It's not called the TBS title anymore. It's called That Bitch Show.
Belt.
Okay, That Bitch Show championship. She's probably going to win in Newark.
Did I mention that Britt Baker's a dentist? Oh, damn. Jeff said at the same time.
She'll win in Newark.
I'll give my quick opinion on this. I want Ty to win. Britt Baker wins.
Okay, perfect.
Britt Baker is probably your best character that you have in that division right now. Thunder Rosa would be a great competitor for her. Maybe another Ruby Soho match. but I just think that Ty's a better wrestler in my opinion.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that's unpopular. Way better wrestler. I think she puts on
One of
better
the best
matches.
on the roster.
Britt's the best at finding the camera and being a character inside the ring.
Yep.
It's
Best
going to be
heel.
a fun match. I don't think it's going to be the greatest match. I think it's going to be a fun match, but I just don't think it's Britt Baker's time yet because I don't think they've built anyone to that level to surpass her.
No, she's number
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. Now let's get to the not only the main event of the night, but the
Oh,
main
boy.
event in this friendship. Okay, because we just welcomed Kyle into the show, and I'm already thinking about kicking him off for his take on this match. Okay, we got Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page in what a lot of us in the wrestling community see as the best wrestling storyline in a very, very, very long time. Now, Kyle, please explain to me why you think in your heart, why you want to not only break all of our hearts, but more importantly, now as a part of this show, you want to break Carrie's heart
Damn it.
and Rob's heart.
I'm breaking my
who's
own heart.
going there
I'm a
live.
Kenny Mark.
All right. Listen, but why do you want to
Kenny
break our hearts,
too,
and why
but
do you think
no.
Kenny's gonna win?
Oh, I would give you that this has been one of the best feuds in professional wrestling today out of any company right now. This is giving me hardcore Ciampa and Gargano vibes because of how well they've told this story. I think it's even treading better than that storyline. They've done such an exceptional job since like Hangman's first come into AEW, like since the beginning until now. Hangman's story towards the belt, that's literally been his entire AEW career, is his freaking like guide and his like quest to the belt. He's done nothing else. But the whole, I mean, even the Kenny and him with the tag team belts, that still had world title implications in itself. If you even go back and watch the BTEs from that then, or back then. So it's been a crazy journey. The only thing that's making me think that Hangman is not winning is because the plans that were changed with Moxley. Khan even said that the plans have now changed with Moxley being out. So what
but do you
makes me think that
the
it's
Moxley stuff affects it more?
yes,
than,
because
I think Hangman was supposed to win it all out.
Hold on, what if Moxley was supposed to beat Brian Danielson at?
By
Full Gear?
God, you called the wrong name. By
Why
God.
can't you just replace all the Moxley stuff with just Miro? Because we don't know when Moxley's going to come back. So
Did you
why
not
hold
say
off
earlier
on it?
if Brian wins, Kenny is gonna win?
I didn't say that.
That said that.
Who said that? Was that
did
Ant?
not say that.
Oh, Ant said,
And it's
sorry.
did not say
not
that.
a take, it's a real take that if Bryan Danielson wins, Kenny Omega's winning.
Then they're doing
No.
if that happens, they are going to do a 60-minute Iron Man match between those two.
Revolution.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. I think it's going to be a huge, But I think Miro's winning because you could just plug and play. Mox was supposed to be the first competitor. It's very easy to change the story. Miro wins. Hangman wins. Hangman is the champion.
So-
Everyone's happy. And it lets everybody get behind Hangman Page because not people love Miro, but you're not going to cheer Miro over Hangman. If Bryan Danielson's Hangman's first competitor, guess what? The crowd's split in half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God, I'm good at my job.
I
Pay
just
me.
think that Hangman was supposed to win it all out. Then he asked for time away. All Out becomes what it was. And then now we get Hangman winning the belt at Full Gear. And all the plans that got changed are just the stuff that was going to happen with Danielson and whatever he was doing after this tournament and Moxley, whatever he was doing.
So I'll go
I
with my
think
gut.
that you can easily just put Miro in place of Moxley. And we can move forward with that, which still, because Miro's a heel, the same way a lot of us think that Moxley was going to turn heel and be Hangman's first opponent. I think it'd be cool.
Do you think they
But Kyle, stop breaking
teased
my heart.
Ibushi on purpose?
Maybe. But I don't think we're getting Kenny. But how long? Isn't Ibushi hurt?
Yes, he broke
could
his
be
arm.
better.
He's out for at least 6
I thought it
months.
was a dislocated shoulder.
All right, so he's out for 3 months.
And
either
how
way,
long
he's
wasn't
fucking
that?
out.
That not in the beginning of the summer?
No, it was
wasn't
like
that
a month
long
ago.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
I think, wasn't it in like.
I thought that's why he.
Fucking
I thought
time
that's
machine
why
you
he.
living in Canada.
Hold up! I thought that's
Jesus.
why he. I thought that's why the belt didn't. That's why the belt went to Kaji.
I think he got
don't
injured
know.
twice. I thought
He's gotten
I
injured
I feel
twice, but he
he's-
just
Oh, twice.
he
his
recently
injury
got
from-
injured
I
like
missed
3
second
weeks
injury.
ago. 10-21 was on the injury. Thank
Okay.
you, Rob.
All right, so
Yeah,
then,
so he's out. Like
I'll go with my gut
or in
feeling.
Kyle time this summer.
I'm going with my hated pick, and I'm going with my gut. I think Kenny's gonna win the belt.
Kyle,
he's going to
you-
retain the belt. I'm
One of
sticking
us
to
will
it.
be wrong.
I'm sticking to
Listen,
it.
either two things are gonna happen. Either you're gonna be wrong, and we will all be happy, or you're gonna be right, and we're flying to Canada, fucking you up. All right?
Hey, I don't book
the three of us-
AEW.
The three of us are gonna have a backstage brawl, a parking lot brawl, like best friends versus Santana Ortiz. Except you're the only one on your side. We're just gonna beat the fuck out of you for ruining this for
Going
us.
with Kenny Omega. Sticking to it.
All right, and what do you think?
Best story of the year. You need the storybook ending. AEW does a fantastic job of sending their fans home happy. Hangman Page.
And it's
gets
not like I
his
don't want
moment.
that, by the way. It's not like I wouldn't be happy if Hangman wins. I'm just going with a pick here, everyone in the
But if
chat.
Hangman
let's
wins-
relax
so-
and not hate on me. I just got here.
Let's-
Just saying, I'd be happy if Hangman wins. I'm not
Let me
saying here that I
preach
hate Hangman.
All right, Kyle,
let me
we
preach
believe you.
let me preach my gospel here, okay? So Hangman winning is a moment, and I said moments matter. It's going to be the biggest moment in the short history of AEW, and we've all waited for it because it's going to get a reaction unlike any other. Obviously, CM Punk's return's a fucking different reaction. It's on a different stratosphere. But as far as in ring, when that bell rings and Hangman has the title above his head, that place is going to go absolutely fucking unglued, and it's going to create a moment in time. But that moment's going to lead to Kenny Omega. And I think Kenny Omega is going to start losing everything that he's loved, and he's going to lose the Elite. And Adam Cole's going to stay with the Elite, and Kenny Omega is going to lose the Elite. He's going to lose his belts. He's going to be a broken man, and he's going to have to rebuild himself. Rebuilding himself to be the best in the world. And at All Out, the best in the world will face the best in the world, CM Punk versus Kenny Omega for that title of best in the world. Not a title. There's no championship needed. Hangman can do his thing. There's bigger plans for Kenny Omega.
Hey, that's a good idea. And
Church
Rob,
is
Damn it,
now
Rob. Damn it,
over.
Rob.
Put money in my collection
Rob,
jar
I
by
was
going to
literally just thinking that.
patreon.com.
I was
Elite
just thinking
POV.
that. He's going to stick
So
around.
Okada comes out Wednesday on Dynamite. Okada versus Omega 5. That is
At
what
Wrestle
Rob
Kingdom.
is saying in the chat.
At
Wrestle
Wrestle Kingdom's 3 nights, and they're going to include AEW people.
Wrestle
3
Kingdom is
nights.
3 nights.
3 nights. They're doing
Jeez.
the 2 nights on the
Jesus.
weekend, and then they're doing a 3rd night in a different building.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Insane.
Gee,
All right.
They're gonna have 47 matches. Wrestle Kingdom, their cards are stacked as is. Wow, I don't know, but Jackie, what do you?
It's not actually three. It's
Please
not.
talk some sense into Kyle.
It's not 3 nights. Wrestle Kingdom is actually just 3 ongoing days where it's just it starts at 1 a.m. one day and you're just fucking up for the whole weekend. It's like I partied with Bulgarians before and they can drink for fucking hours. I woke up at 7 a.m. on the lawn and they were still drinking. That's gonna be Wrestle Kingdom. It's gonna be fucking 3 nights of just drinking and partying.
A fever dream.
The
a
3rd
really
night
long
is for the
fever dream.
50th anniversary.
Oh,
January
okay.
Okay.
But Jackie,
Makes
please
sense.
talk some sense into Kyle, please.
No, oh, listen. Kyle's entitled to his opinion,
Thank
whether
you.
we agree
Thank
with
you.
it or disagree with it. And there is some logic behind what he's saying, so I won't fault him too much. He just got here. Let's not be abusive.
Jackie, I don't like the way this is going. All right.
However, I disagree. And it's just so many things pointing in the direction of Hangman having his moment. I mean, let's not forget he was the first one to ever challenge for this, for this belt. It escaped him. People said he wasn't ready. Full Gear, in essence, was named for a Hangman based storyline. This is kind of his shtick. This is his pay-per-view. It's always going to be synonymous, especially with those of us who have been watching since the inception of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
All the callbacks, the fact that in Full Gear last year, we saw Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the #1 contendership. Once again, Hangman fell short. It's been building this entire storyline of a man overcoming all of his insecurities, all the negative voices in his own head, not necessarily from the people around him, because, Hangman has had the Dark Order supporting him, trying to build him up or whatever. Everything is an internal battle with Hangman. And it just seems like this has reached the fever pitch. You have to strike now. There's no more long-term storytelling. The story has been told. We are ready. I need to see this moment No, just I cannot imagine what that crowd is going to sound like when Hangman takes that belt, because it's the payoff for all of us who have been here from the jump. And I just, I want that moment. I need that moment. So my pick, Hangman Adam Page, cowboy shit, start his reign. Give me that freaking finish. I don't want to swerve. I need that.
No swerve. And this company doesn't do crazy swerves like that. They tell the story to completion. So, I mean, obviously my pick is also Hangman because I am not a crazy person like Kyle. But I don't want to see the world burn like Kyle obviously does. I don't understand.
I just said that I would be happy if Hangman
Listen,
wins.
he wants to see the world burn because he's still on lockdown over there. Like, he doesn't have to deal with the consequences.
Just because
of
you're
this.
mad that you couldn't come to Grand Slam with us doesn't mean that you take it
I'm
out
angry,
on poor
damn
Rob. All right, Rob, who is flying out there.
Oh, maybe you
just to
shouldn't
see
fly
this-
out there, Rob. Maybe you should have stayed home.
Yeah.
Freaking vicious, man.
And then Rob brought up something else. Like, this is the moment someone's kicking out of the One Wing Angel for the first time.
Second time.
No. Who kicked out?
Technically, but the first time.
Who kicked out first?
Ibushi kicked out.
Rope break, wasn't it?
No, I think Ibushi just straight up kicked out before it was like a thing, before it was an established move. So
See,
technically, yes.
I don't even think that needs to be worked.
And
into the
Goldberg was
storyline.
186-0. No,
Oh,
it's
my
the first time.
He was. He wrestled 180 people. I'm telling you right now. I'll get the list.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think the kicking out of the One Wing Angel is a deal breaker kind of situation. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
No,
Story still needs to be told. And
So
Don't take that
Jermaine,
moment.
if he kicks out, I don't want it to be at 1. I want it to be like
2.9.
I
Yeah.
want it to be where people are like, oh, it's over. Wow, Kenny really won. And then he kicks out and people are, and then there's that moment of like for me, I know. for a
Ibushi
lot
doesn't
of
kick
fans-
him, he's injured.
Yeah. But so like when Taker lost to Brock, right? There was the initial like, wait, what? And then it was like, oh my god. And when Hangman kicks out at 2.9, there's gonna be the wait, hold on a second, what? It's not over to the holy, and then it's gonna go like a wave over the crowd and everybody watching at home. So I don't want it to be at 1. Just
Oh,
saying.
by the way, before we get out of here, because I know this show's went really long. Thank you guys for hanging
We're
out.
almost at the
Yeah.
2-hour mark. We're like a couple
I
seconds
promise
away.
you, this show will never be 2 hours again. It will be an hour and a half and under.
this was a
We
really
just-
special
A
edition
lot
of
of
a show.
announcements, a lot of stuff. Should we show them the new intro real quick before
Oh.
we start signing off?
Well,
real quick.
here's
Real quick.
the last announcement of the day, folks. Here comes the brand new intro for Elite POV.
It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite. Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Listen, okay. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, all right?
Philly butt!
And still dancing.
Yeah, Ant was dancing the whole time. But yes, that is our brand new intro with our brand new logo, with our brand new team member. What was
Member.
that I said?
Member. I'm the member here of Elite POV.
You're damn old team member
Alright.
here.
With our brand new team member. You member.
You team member.
You remember
I'm member.
members?
Listen,
I'm
I'm
member.
member.
I was talking with a country accent because our
You don't
cowboy
need
is
to wear
about to win his
be a
goddamn.
cowboy.
Yeah. Oh
You
my
better
God.
say
Nice save,
it.
Phil.
You better say it.
Yeah.
Redneck is just fucked tonight if you're gonna call him a member.
Okay. this is going to be the intro that brings us into the new generation of Elite POV. So now Kyle is a new member. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the new member of Elite POV here.
Member.
You can follow me on Twitter at All Elite Kyle. My profile has officially been changed now. It's official, folks. I'm here, and we're here to kick it into full gear, pun intended.
Jackie, let them know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Oh,
Anthony,
You can follow me.
the POV Hunter.
And the POV Hunter, I should just change my name to that. Is Ant_is_elite. And guys, please check out the Patreon. We have special content tonight. We have an interview with me and Kyle talking about his decision to join Elite POV after closing down AEP All Elite Podcast. And then we have Top Girl Talk, where I was honored to produce that show. I just want to tell Jackie how proud I am of her because it was her first time hosting, and I'm telling you, she's going to probably fucking take over the show in no time. She was so good, and the show is amazing. They talk a lot about mental health. It's so much more than wrestling, so please check that out. I'm going away. You guys won't see me. I'm leaving. Kyle's my replacement, only for 10 days. I'll be back. I'm going on family vacation, and the week I get back, there will be a rant on wrestling posted on our YouTube, so go subscribe there, talking about the rise of AEW and the changes, talking about how we were excited for Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc, and 2 years later, we're talking about Bryan Danielson and CM fucking Punk. So that has how far the company has came in just 2 years' time, and I'll be covering all of that. One man, one mic, one topic, Rant on Wrestling. We'll be back in about 2 weeks.
And if you guys want to follow the show, it's at Elite POV on Twitter. If you want to follow me, it's at Philium Elite. And remember, listen, we mentioned a lot of new things tonight. So I'm going to give it to you guys one more time. Twitch.tv/Elite POV to watch the show live. We are available anywhere podcasts are found. The replays will be up on VOD on Twitch.tv/Elite POV. Also on our YouTube channel where you could search Elite POV. You'll see that up there.
Fuck, I forgot an announcement.
Oh,
What?
Oh, did we mention anything about a second show coming to this channel? Because that's happening also.
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, so we're
starting
adding
probably in the
Kyle.
new year.
Yes, we're adding Kyle. We will be doing a weekly Rampage review show because Rampage has been unbelievable really since its inception. So we definitely want to be able to give you guys that content,
Also,
but that is probably coming in January.
Apple listeners, Apple Podcasts, we know you're listening right now. See that little star? See those little star ratings?
Get us up.
Get us up. Hit us that
Get us
5-star
up.
rating. Comment what you thought of the podcast. That helps us in the long side of things and the chartable side of things. Do us a favor. Give us that 5 elite star rating.
Yeah, and you're going to
love
start
that.
your
I love
Saturday mornings in 2022 with Elite POV talking about Rampage. Grab your bitch ass coffee, sit down, and enjoy the show.
Yep. Enjoy a little bit of Saturday morning hoot. So remember, everybody, patreon.com/Elite POV, twitch.tv/Elite POV, ElitePOVmerch.com, and then at Elite POV on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to follow us. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat today. Thank you for being a part of this very special, this very great episode tonight. And remember, we are Elite. I almost missed it. We are Elite POV. And remember, you don't need it. Wait.
You got to do it.
No.
Country. Give it to him. Give it to him. Hardcore and uncut.
Wait, hold on. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a member.